When we learn about the past, it's mostly about the history of war, battles, and conflicts. Times of peace generally were not so famous, nor very exciting. Central Europe was also not the most peaceful place on earth. However, it could be a great example of tolerance and cooperation between different religions, nations, and states. The Visegrad Castle behind me is a place where cooperation between Poland, Hungary, and the Kingdom of Bohemia officially started, and remains, even after some silly breaks. Okay, let's go to Esztergom now.
"1,000 years ago, Esztergom was the most important town of the country. Hungary was still a pagan country when a mysterious baby named Vike was born here. When he grew up, he took power over the entire country and eventually converted to Christianity, being baptized as Stephen. Stephen was coronated as the first king of Hungary in the year 1000, and now Saint Stephen is called the father of the Hungarian kingdom."
Throughout the centuries, Esztergom was the seat of the Catholic Church here in Hungary, and the basilica behind me is testimony to that fact, as one of the 20 largest churches in the entire world. The hill on which it stands even has a tunnel going from one side all the way through to the other. It's no wonder that Esztergom, with its massive basilica and the tourists coming and the pilgrims coming all year long, was also considered the Hungarian Vatican. If you're in the area, why not take an afternoon taking a trip on the Danube River, the second longest river in Europe, running almost 3,000 kilometers. Second after the Volga, of course. What better way to spend the afternoon, huh?
For many people, the name Sobieski makes them think of the famous vodka brand. In fact, Sobieski was a Polish king who defeated and stopped the Turkish army on their way to Vienna. The second part of the glorious defeat happened there, on the other side of the river, and it's remembered as the Battle of Parkani. The Turks were forced to leave the land, but we can still admire their heritage. A mosque situated nearby the basilica, and Sobieski became a local hero, having two monuments on both sides of the river.
We're We're standing here in Esztergom, Hungary, right beneath the basilica. Not a bad shot, is it? But very close over, right on the other side of the river, the Danube, we've got Slovakia. And joining the two is the Maria Valeria Bridge. Now, Maria Valeria was the daughter of the Empress Elizabeth. The bridge has got kind of a tragic history in its sense. Kind of could be even a metaphor for communism. Now, it was built in 1895, but after the First World War was destroyed, rebuilt once again, and then at the end of the Second World War, destroyed by the retreating German army. There wasn't much interest to rebuild the bridge during communism, as there was a ferry going back and forth across. But eventually, in the 21st century, they finally got everything together and built the structure you see behind me now, crossing between Hungary and Slovakia on the other side. So, why don't we go see the rest of the city, see what's going on. As you may know, throughout Europe, you're not allowed to smoke in most pubs and restaurants these days. But Hungary's got one more interesting thing to make it even more difficult. If you want to smoke, you got to get your cigarettes at the state-run monopoly shops, making it a lot harder to find a place all the time, and might cut down on smoking too. Who knows? Anyway, all right, lads.
My favorite place is the St. Thomas Hill. It's very close, and on the top of the hill there is a small chapel, and it's a beautiful view. I like the basilica, of course, because it's a monument building, and we have a Royal Castle Museum, and so we have a lot of very beautiful place near the Danube. We have a lot of park and a good place for the relaxing.
And you had a festival yesterday. How often do you organize these festivals, or what other events do you organize here in town or through Kaleidoscope House?
The Kaleidoscope House want to show the people the contemporary culture, and in the Kaleidoscope House all months there is a new exhibition, and we have a lot of culture program. Concerts and literature programs. So
yeah, I saw a lot of art around.
And we went 2 days in a year when the all culture program is we mixed, and these 2 days is the birthday of the house.
Right.
And we went to festival. It's a free festival.
It was very fun. Good bands last night. And how big is your hostel?
We have 5 rooms and 12 beds. Usually it's just a twin bed room, but we have one bigger, it's for 4 people a room, but it's very small, but it's enough for me.
Saint Stephen and his coronation, represented in this modern monument just here behind me, situated on a picturesque hill over Esztergom. Esztergom is only 50 kilometers away from the crowds of tourists in Budapest, making it still a calmer, more relaxed place for those that want to get away from the hustle and bustle. It's been one of my favorites, but all good things must come to an end. It's time to hit the road again. But one last look, why not?